Hello, Greater Hilltop. This is Dan Fagan from the Greater Hilltop Area Commission, and I'm really excited that joining us today is Reverend Meredith McDougall from the Greater Hilltop Area Shalom Zone. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Dan. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. Well, I have a couple questions for you. How is the Greater Hilltop Area Shalom Zone, specifically Villa on the Hill, supporting older adults during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Thank you. That's a good question. Unfortunately, COVID-19 and social distancing is really impacting the older adults on the Hilltop. And so we've implemented a number of measures to try to address that. Specifically regarding transportation, there are two things that the zone, or through Villa on the Hill, we like to call it the zone for short. Villa on the Hill is providing the Hilltop circulator bus. And so this is a scheduled door-to-door service that is typically on Tuesdays between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And this is a scheduled door-to-door drive, either to a grocery store, or now that the Hilltop Library's temporary space is open, they can go to curbside service and either return or secure new library items. And we also hope to be able to offer door-to-door service from members' homes to the Hilltop YMCA when that reopens to members for exercise room use on August 3rd, as I understand it. So we're hoping to be able to offer folks some expanded transportation opportunities while still maintaining social distancing. Masks, of course, will be required on all rides. And so that will be a scheduled piece that folks can do potentially with others who might also be on the bus at the same time. Mm-hmm. But if folks are more interested in individual door-to-door transportation services that could be provided by Villa on the Hill, we also have a program with Lyft, the cab ride service, where we're able to offer scheduled free cab rides, for example, to medical appointments. It's still important for older adults and for all of us to do our regular exams and well visits to make sure that we maintain all of our health in its full scope. So those scheduled rides, either for the Hilltop Circulator or for Lyft, can be scheduled by calling Barbara Camfield, our program director, and her phone number is 614-403-0843. There's also two other ways that we've been helping older adults on the Hilltop related to COVID-19. And so we've been delivering resource kits as well as face masks to those who've been requesting them. And so those resource kits have included sometimes hand sanitizer, other times alcohol wipes, as I said, face masks, but also listings of local resources, including where to find food, if there are perhaps multi-generations in a household, where to find children's resources, where children can find food through the schools, and other kinds of resources that might be available to folks. We've been leaning on our partners at the hilltopusa.org website that's run by Fuel. And so they have been really good partners to help provide us with the most up-to-date resource information for our clients. And so we're really excited to be able to offer that to our members. We've also been doing check-in calls because it's really important to remember that while we physically distance, and that's super important to slow the spread of COVID-19 right now, along with masking up in public, but when we're at home, we may be isolated. Perhaps the TV is our only companion, and that gets really boring pretty quickly. And so we've been trying to provide check-in phone calls to our members on a regular basis, just to make sure that they have a friendly voice in their life, that they for sure have everything that they need. And if there's anything that we can provide, that we can get them in touch with the resources that they are interested in. So those are some of the ways that we've been able to address some of the needs of our older adult members of our program, Villa on the Hill. And we're hoping that we can begin to offer a few more services as the months progress.
Well, thank you. Those are really important, really needed services at this point. What other updates do you have from the Greater Hilltop Area Shalom Zone?
Thanks for asking. So we have a couple of projects that are coming up. Primary of concern right now is our voter safety kit project. We have the ambitious goal of attempting to put together and distribute 5,000 voter safety kits. And what I mean by a voter safety kit is it would include items that someone might need if they were eligible to vote in order to register or update their voter information registration. Often, Dan, folks are registered to vote, but perhaps not at their current mailing address, and that might delay the processing of their ballot and perhaps disqualify them altogether. So it's really important that folks be registered at their current mailing address in order to vote and make that process go more smoothly. And all of that's conveniently done via one form, which we will be providing in the voter safety kit, in addition to a request form for an absentee ballot. Unfortunately, we aren't able to provide the ballots themselves to voters in the packets, but the request forms will be really helpful to folks in order to understand what is the process for requesting an absentee ballot, how does that work, where does that need to be returned, and all those kinds of information will be included in the packet. In addition, we hope to provide addressed envelopes that folks can use to mail in or deliver their information to the Board of Elections, and all sorts of other items that we hope to be able to include. If folks decide to go either to vote in early at the Board of Elections, which we'll be able to hopefully do very soon, hopefully beginning in October. And so voting in person, whether that's early at the Board of Elections or at your polling place on election day, it would be very important for voters to have access to some kind of facial covering. So we'll be including paper masks in the voter kits that we'll be including. Also, there will be some form of sanitation, whether that's hand sanitizer or alcohol wipes that folks can use to either wipe down their voting machine or other items as they open a door to protect themselves from the virus, so that they can for sure have their voice be heard on election day and still protect their health and stop the spread of COVID-19, because it's up to all of us to really do that. And so we're hoping to be able to provide those to voters on the Hilltop between now and the end of September. It is important for everyone to be registered to vote who is eligible before the first Monday in October. And so that will be a critical time between now and then for us to be seeking funding, putting those kits together, and then distributing them into the community. We will be looking for volunteers to distribute those kits. First, we'll be distributing them to our Villa on the Hill members, but anyone who requests one will be able to receive one. So we want to be able to meet those needs, and so we'll need volunteers to do that. We also have our partners meeting coming up, where we'll be talking about this project and others that will be coming up very soon. That partners meeting is next Tuesday, July 28th from noon until 1. That will be a virtual meeting via Zoom. And if folks are interested in registering, they can leave their email address by calling 614-398-1230, or they can email info@hilltopshalomzone.org.
Reverend McDougall, thank you for this information, and thank you for the work that you're doing for older adults and everyone here on the Greater Hilltop. I do want to take just a moment to share those numbers that you shared with us. So there's the Executive Director, Reverend McDougall. Thank you again. Phone number 614-398-1230 to reach the Greater Hilltop Area Shalom Zone, and to reach Villa on the Hill 614-403-0843. Thank you.
Thank you.